Is my screen visible? Very good. Good. We have covered quite a good ground in the stateful component illustration. Now you have some idea like what are hooks and where and how we use those functions like use state and the corresponding property state variable definition and their corresponding setters. You also have seen how do we handle the events. We have handled on change and on click on appropriate form elements. We know how to link the state variables with the input controls as well as output controls. Now, I'll not be introducing any new concept. Rather, we'll be developing one more application, a stateful application, one more stateful component, and we'll see how just by having these hooks and event handlers, how we can develop interesting applications. This time, what we do is like we'll be creating a to-do list. Right, to-do list, you know, right? Task list otherwise. We'd like to create a task browser where users should be able to record new tasks that they want to do, and also should be able to see those tasks being listed. And I'll be giving you a piece of homework. I'll be sharing that code as it is with you. You will be writing I'll be giving an exercise which is which is an extension to this piece, whatever we are going to do. Okay, right. So let me start creating the component. So I'm creating a new folder for this component. Let me call it as like task manager. And in which obviously you will be having task manager.js and task manager.css and index.js. These things we definitely know. In task manager CSS, let me create a class called root, and let me set up some margin. Let's say 12 pixels. And padding also 12 pixels and some background color just to know that it is there. That is our CSS. Index.js is quite simple. You import task manager from here and export default task manager. So our ritual is done. So the next step is to work on the task manager. Yeah. Is it? Okay, let me stop and start again. How it is now? Okay, right. So now let me create a function by name task manager, which takes properties. Whether we use them or not, it is always we do. Because we are going to build a stateful component, it makes sense to have this blocking statement and the return statement, and in the return a basic div task manager and export default. Who is this fellow? Task manager. And in the index.js, I started doing this, but later stopped it. Now let me add this new guy. So task manager. See, the moment I added it here, it automatically imported it. If we do everything properly, it will be done automatically. Now let's see the outcome. Right, the task manager is appearing. Now let us write the task. Now our focus will be completely on the task manager only. So instead of just saying task manager, let me write a useful thing. So first we'll be having a heading saying it is task manager. And after that, I'll be having a horizontal line. And then I'll be having a small form where user will be able to add tasks. Let me have an input. Type text is by default, whether we write it or not anyway. And let me have a placeholder where it suggests that enter new task. And let us be like this first. First, we'll be building the view. Once view is ready, then we write all the dynamics. Apart from this, I will also give a button saying like whether it is an important task or a normal task. And another button, let's say it is a normal task. And maybe one more thing, maybe a button which says it is an urgent task. See how it appears, right? Maybe I'll push these two things to the beginning. So user will have to click one of them to tell whether it is an urgent task or something. Here you'll have new task. And after this, you'll be having the button to add task. All right, so this entire thing will keep with this another horizontal thing. And after that, we want to give the task list or scheduled tasks. All right, so okay, first let me put that class name also. Root is the name I have given, right? Stick to either single quotes or double quotes. It makes sense. That because we are using the class name, we need to import the task manager.css. Once we import, then it will come into effect, right? So it's a task manager with the blah, 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 blah things. So this is for a new task. This form is for adding a new task, and whatever task we add here, if I add something and say add task, it should list out those tasks over here. That's our idea. That's our idea. Currently, it is a stateless one. It's not reacting to anything, but we are okay. This looks good, at least for now. But now we want to actually make it stateful. So how many inputs we have? The priority, either urgent or import or normal. One of these three things people may click. If they don't click anything, it is going to be a normal task, let's say. And after that, they will click here. So we need to have 1, 2, 3, 4 click handlers and 1 change handler. That is 4 event handlers that way, 4 or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 event handlers we need to have. And what are the inputs and what are the outputs? Input is going to be priority and the actual task description. Output is going to be the list of all the tasks. Let's see how do we do it. To do any of these things, first thing is like we need to import that use state from where? Can anyone say? From React. And then we start declaring the state variables. Maybe first one is priority. And we know that it may be changed. It is a read write. So set priority. And use the initial state, maybe normal. Priority is going to be normal by default. Another one is description. That also can change. People can set up descriptions and use set state. Sorry, use state. Initially, no description. And another one is list of all the tasks. We are not going to, set tasks also. and initially use the state. What are the initial list of tasks? An empty array. An empty array. Still looks good. See, I started the developer tools window here. If you are, I hope you know it. If it is Firefox, it will be under more tools and web developer tools. Here you can see the inspection, debugger, lot of things. I have installed the React plugin also. That's why it can show even the list of components. Currently, it is the only component. That is, the task manager is the only component. All right, you can also do these things. So currently, on the console, if I am not getting any errors or warnings, that means I am progressing well. Right. So now let us add the event handlers. On button, we say on click. If somebody clicks on this button, then take that event. And what is that we want to do? We want to set priority to what? To normal. Sorry, urgent. If somebody clicks on the urgent button, we want to change the priority to urgent. Same thing we repeat for other guys also. For button also, for normal button also. Here it is going to be important. Here it is going to be normal. The last button, it is going to be different, even though it is on click. But here we are not going to set the priority. We need to do a few other things. Basically, the current priority and the description, we want to add it to the list of tasks. We need to do that. We'll do it little later. Let us do this for input also. Here it is going to be not on click, rather it is going to be on change. Users, by clicking on text button, nothing will happen. You need to change the value. When they change the value, then we change the description. Description to whom? Whatever is the event, its target, its value. Right? Are there any errors? Currently, no errors. So on click, blah, 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 we are doing. Right? And on description, we are making few changes. Now, on click of the button, that is to add tasks, what is that we want to do? Here, we are going to write some good amount of code. So that's why this is going to be multi-line code. So what I'm going to do here is like, whatever is the current description and current priority, I want to add it to the array. I want to add it to the array. Let me do one way and show you what is the problem with this first. So what I do is like set tasks. I'm calling that function set task. That's just like you are calling set priority. I'm calling set tasks. Set tasks is going to be, basically we need to set up an array. In that array, I want to say description is whatever is the current description value, comma, and priority is whatever is the current priority value. There are a couple of things here. Set tasks are tasks essentially. Tasks is a type of array. If I have two tasks, there should be two elements here. And each element, each task is having both description and priority. Means it should be a JSON object like this. A JSON object like this. A key value. Description is the key and this description is the value. Priority is the key and this priority is the value, as you can see. Let's see what happens by doing this much. Will there be any errors or something first of all? At least here there are no errors. Let me enter new key, ReactJS training, and let's say it is urgent tasks, and I'm saying add. At least whether it is doing something or not, we don't know, but at least there are no errors. So how do we know whether things are working fine or not? In this after scheduled tasks, let us print them. Let us print all the tasks. But what is this tasks? Tasks is an array of JSON objects. Let's see how it prints. So immediately it is saying objects are not valid as React child. It is having some keys like description and priority. Means it immediately knows that knows a lot of things. It is saying like, Krishna, you cannot have tasks as an array, which is an array which contains objects. If that array contains only normal values, fine. But if it contains objects, you cannot write like this. You need to process. So let us do this. If you know the arrays of JavaScript well, if you do not know, go and learn them. JSON and arrays of JavaScript, you have to learn, no other code. So what I do is, like, there is a function called map. There is a function called map on the arrays of JavaScript. What this map does is, like, it takes one element at a time, because our elements are individual tasks. Let me name that as a task. It takes one element at a time and do something with this. What is that it does? Maybe I'll just say task.description. We know every element is having a description and priority. So let me write like this and see what happens. Let me refresh the screen. Let me say, what is it? ReactJS. Let me just say ReactJS. By default, it is normal anyway. Let me say add task. See, you are seeing ReactJS coming up here. Instead of ReactJS, let me say project work. Add task. It is coming project work. Let me do first few changes. It is appearing next to this one. So let us put a div first. Let me put a div tag so that it comes in the next line. That is one thing. This is, where is it? What did I do? Okay. Right. Right. So now it is coming in the next line. That is one good thing. Maybe for schedule tasks also, let me give some other H2. Second heading. So it looks, it do not mix with the other things. Okay. Schedule tasks. This is list. But the problem is, like, if I change it to something else and add, it is changing. It's not adding all, it is only holding one value. If I change it, it is changing its value rather than appending it to the existing values. Why it is? Because what am I doing? I am saying set tasks. I am creating a new array. That array is having the current description and current priority. What about the old description, old tasks? That I am not having. If I want to have the old values, then what I should do? I should say get the current tasks. Whatever are the current tasks, but current tasks is itself is an array. Array within array is not what our idea. Get the values from the existing tasks array, sprinkle them here, and then add the other things. If you haven't seen this ellipsis symbol, again, which is part of the, what do you call, new JavaScript, learn them. See, there are a lot of things we need to learn if we are not already aware of them. I'm just writing them in a using a different alignment so that you know what I'm doing. So when I say whenever there is this add task button is clicked, what I'm doing, I am creating a new array. But what are the elements of this new array? The elements of the existing tasks plus the new task. Now let's see what happens. Let me write some other nonsense. Say add task. Blah, 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 add a task. Now something else, add a task. See, the existing one plus the new one, but they are appearing one after the other. Let me make again those things also to appear one after the other. So one below each other. So let me put a div here and another div over here. So each description will appear one after the other. See, you are seeing. But what is this one? It's just a normal text. Again, I need to keep them. The moment I am mixing it with the markup, it should be a proper JSX. Now you see things are appearing properly. Let's say next one is like project. Project is appearing. Next one is quiz. Quiz is appearing. Right? So you can see all the tasks appearing. But what about the priority? We are also capturing priority, whether it is this or that. So why only description? Let us put the priority also. Let us keep here priority. Let us keep some differentiation, maybe something like this. Okay, so task dot priority. it is not taking here. It is not showing anything as priority. Why? Looks like we are not setting up the priority properly. This is priority. Why it is not taking priority? We are calling set priority to value urgent and blah blah blah. Let me reload. Oh, something going wrong. This warning I will take it later. Important. Okay. Any clue? Just observe what I am doing. If I am doing something wrong, by default we are saying priority is normal. So that priority would be added to this one, but it is not taking. Is there any spell mistake or something? Something is going wrong. Okay, is this spelling correct? Looks like, yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. Right, we are getting. Next one, I say it is urgent task. Okay, good. So let me refresh it. I hope you are able to understand what is happening here. Very important to understand. I'll share this code. You'll be looking into the code more keenly later also. But for now, I hope you understand what am I doing in these places. If you have any doubt, it might be something over here and here. Okay, so if you for those things to understand, you need to learn what is this 3 ellipses in arrays. You learn about array decomposition. I think that array spread operator we call in JavaScript spread operator. All right, you learned about those examples and other things, and the array map function, JavaScript array map method. Learn about that. There is no other go, right? I already gave a hint like what they do. Now you learn more so that you'll actually get the solid command on that. It is giving an error over here, right? A warning at least. If I say something like this and like this, it is saying you need to have a key. Key is basically like for every thing that we do here in this kind of mapping, every element should have something unique. That uniqueness can be a description or priority. It can be anything as a key. So I can say key is, I can specify that again like task dot description. I can say like this, then that will go off. Right? It's saying like you are giving the same key. That's a problem, right? If I give description, people may give same description, then it will again say like key is same. So instead, what I can do is like, other than getting only the task, I can also get the current index position. I can also get the current index position, and that index I can use. Again, you learn more about the map function. I can use the index number as the key. So if I add task, see, no errors any longer. There are no errors any longer. Okay, so this is what I wanted to do. So I built something, and I am able to get these things done. But this showing these what do you call these tasks just like a normal text box, I didn't like. I don't like this. Rather, what I do is I'll create one more component. Observe carefully. I call that as just task, in which I'll create task.js, task.css, index.js. Let me do some copy paste business, because there is some similarity in the names. Instead of task manager, I'll just say task. Oh, maybe typing is faster than editing these things. Okay, so that is ready. Task.js. What is that I want to write here? So let me go to the task manager JS. Let me copy paste everything. I need actually 2 lines of that code, entire code. So instead of task manager, it is going to be task only. Basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build task as a separate component, and that component will only show the task details, nothing else. Let this root also be okay, fine. And all I want to show is just task detail. So how do I show the task detail? Maybe 2 spans. Here the description, and next is the priority. One is description, another one is priority. So how do I get the description? Maybe from the props dot description. So somebody will have to pass those details. And in the other span, I'll show props dot priority. Okay, and maybe I'll give different class names for them. This is description, and for other one, maybe I'll say class name is some name. And in this JS file, where is the JS? CSS file, I'll say description. I think DCR, I think I have given. Description is going to be in font, maybe in color, that is blue. Description will be in blue. Whereas priority will be in normal color and also italicized. Let me put font style as italics. This is all about task component. Now in the task manager, or for each of the tasks, let me put something more in the root. I say background. Oh, let us give some margin, 2 pixels or maybe 5 pixels. Padding another 5 pixels. And the background color is some other, let's say aqua or bisque, right? Okay, so this is my task. This is a simple stateless thing. It won't react to anything. It gets the description and the priority as its properties. We just use them here. And now what is the job of the task manager? Instead of writing this div tag here, right? Sorry, in the div tag it is saying what is the key and blah, 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 blah. Instead of that, instead of div tag, we use a task. We use the task. See, task is automatically imported. So we want to use the task, but task requires the details, right? One is like a description. Where is the description? The description is in the current task description. And another property is priority. And that is there with the current task, task.priority. And I need to give a key always if it is there here, and the key is going to be index. Okay, let's see how it appears. You see, things are appearing in different. Why everything is into that bisque color? We want individually only. Task. Okay, the root, we are using root everywhere, right? So that's the reason it is overriding it. And that's the reason actually people do not use those things, rather this task manager, right? Maybe TM, you say. For task, I'll give task only. And in the task manager, I'll say this is TM. And in the task, I'll say this as task. Now you see, things are appearing differently. Let me refresh. Let me write the tasks one by one. Finish ReactJS training. That is important. Okay. And generate quiz. Maybe normal. And so on. Okay. That color combination is, what do you call, teasing, irritating to me. Sorry for that. You can use a better thing. But hopefully, I hope at least you understood what I did. You may not understand every line of code. You might be also, if you know the map functions, spread operators and other things, nothing really great I have done. But what are the concepts I have tried is like, we have seen stateless components, we have seen stateful components, we have seen components that comprising other components. So here, this is a composite components. Task manager is using other component called task. That's the beauty of this ReactJS. So you write how the task should be, you write everything in a separate file without worrying about like where it is going to be used. All right. Hope you got some point. What I want you to do is repeat the same thing on your machines. I'll give the code, so you can even copy paste also. But the additional activity, what I want you to do is like, for each of these tasks, I would like you to have a delete button against each of them. Just like you have the things like this, I want you to have a delete button also. And if I click on the delete button, the task should be removed from the scheduled list of tasks. It should be removed from the scheduled list of tasks. That is what I want you to do. Right? Questions, please. Functional components, properties, composite components, lifecycle hooks, handling, state manipulation. Good. We have done almost everything. Lifecycle, once you do today's task, maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow a bit. Okay. Then you'll be able to understand that much better. Even if I talk now, it might not be that great. Right. So I think we are done for the day. It is at 2 p.m. already. So I'm closing the session now. And stop sharing it. You know what is the activity, right? So in the WhatsApp group, I'll be sharing the zip file or the source code with you. You repeat the same project, get the task manager working, calculator anyway you have done it. Add this task manager also, get the same working done. If you are very creative, do a lot of other things to make this the user interface look a little more professional. Currently it is just a dump only. Make it a little more professional. And most important thing is like, extend the functionality. You should have a button called delete. And if I click on that delete, this guy should automatically be removed. This guy should automatically be removed. So try doing it. If you can do it, really great. Even if you do not able to succeed in that, still fine. But you need to prove that you have tried. You need to show me what you have tried. Okay. If you get a lot of time, or if you feel like delete, you are not able to get delete working, you can do a few other things. Maybe other than the description and the priority button, maybe have one more text box and specify like who should do this task, assignee. And in the schedule tasks, you show that assignee's name also. Right? Do something. I want you to extend this functionality by at least one more feature. Delete is what I'm asking. If you do it, great. If you cannot do it, you think of your own feature and extend this. If you can, if you add more number of features, it is even more better. Okay, so that's all for from my side. Thank you very much for joining. Any last set of questions from anyone, please? Great. Harish, you can share the recordings and I'll try to put that on